When students arrive in the morning, it will look a little different than normal. We're asking families to drop the kids off at the curb. They will go to their designated entry point. The staff that are at the entry points will welcome the student to come in the morning, and then the student will notice right away that there are arrow stickers on the floor to guide them down the hallway into their appropriate classroom. When a student arrives in their own classroom, they'll be greeted by their teacher. They'll put their things in their designated space, and then they will go to their desk area, and then the teacher will have different routines established in their classroom. They'll be washing their hands, then they'll be brought their breakfast, and they'll eat breakfast in the classroom as part of their morning routine. And I was really impressed, actually, for the 6 days in September, how really well the kids already know how to wash their hands. So parents have been doing their part. The teaching aspect of the school day is still similar to how it has been in the past, except we are having social distancing and we are using masks and all of those protocols to keep our kids safe. So for example, in my classroom, we each have our desk and they're all spaced 6 feet apart. I'm teaching from the front, but I do have the liberty to walk amongst the kids. You know, I'm moving quickly and still able to interact with them. When we were here in the fall for the 6 days with the kindergartners and first graders, they did an amazing job. They got to understand that this was their learning space and they would do well to stay in their space, raise their hand when they needed help, things like that. So even though it was only 6 days that we had in person, they started to get the routines down really quickly. With the mask wearing, I was actually very pleased at how well the kids did. I thought for sure, especially kindergartners, would not have the stamina to keep a mask on all day, let alone put it on the right way. And yeah, there were a few moments where kids would need to be reminded to, you know, put it over their nose completely, but for the most part, they surprisingly did really well with the mask. At our school, we were able to provide 2 opportunities for kids to play outside during the school day. So we had a morning recess and an afternoon recess. And here at our school, we have 3 separate play structures, and we were able to almost essentially assign a class to a play structure per day. And so when we would go out in the morning, my class would stay on one particular structure, and then that would be our same area in the afternoon. And they were cleaned between classes as well. And then in the classroom, we would provide, you know, lunch, and they can socialize and they can visit, but then we would also have like movement breaks. For primary, we are smaller classes, and that's been really nice to feel like you can really get to know kids, because typically we have, you know, usually in kindergarten I have around 20 students, and this year I have 12, which I think is making everything much more feasible and much more manageable to be like, oh, I can do this. I've got 12 students. We're ready to get back to be, you know, face to face so that we can see friends and see our colleagues and see the other teachers that we've had a relationship with over the years, because they're still having, you know, those moments with their classroom teacher now, but they're missing out on a lot of those extra adults that could give them attention and care. And I know that I'm really excited just to be able to have a chance to do the job the way I intended it, you know, the way it's intended to be, as in person, with able to just, you know, love on these kids. We're all human and we're all gonna get through this together. And the more that we feel support from each other is the more it's gonna make it feel doable. I'm very excited to see these kids in person